Will the ACC have a new Tier 1 team? Because it's been Clemson and Florida State, and those are mainstays there at this point. And for the foreseeable future, I guess it feels like they will be. But then there's this drop off. And there still is that drop off in the odds market right now. But the odds market is really basing that a lot on what history has said so far. And I wonder if history is going to repeat itself, or if this year in the ACC, all of a sudden, someone ramps up into the main conversation. Like, does someone walk up to the head table, pull out a chair, and sit down and not immediately look like a fraud? That has to be Miami to me if someone does it. But just as surely as I say that, Louisville speaks up, NC State speaks up. I know I got some Virginia Tech folks who'll speak up. Virginia Tech's probably got a few more pros on that roster than people realize. Just throwing that out there. So anyway, I don't know if Virginia Tech is poised to enter Tier 1 conversation this year. Now, they could be a year ahead of schedule and do that and prove me wrong. And I'd be happy for them if they did. Miami's the one poised to do it. Miami's the one that won't be hurting for athletes. Miami's the one who can go man for man with you. Miami's the one who in November I could see surging, because if Cam Ward is what we think he can be at quarterback, then they may have the best one in the ACC. To put it flatly, Miami could have the best quarterback in the ACC. If it doesn't pan out, then it's just another December, a long December, a Counting Crows special of questioning everything down there. But if he is, and I've been down there and I've watched practice, he looks insane to me. If he is, then that box being checked, dude, if they had him last year, what would they have done? That's how I think. So then they've got him this year, and like everything else continues to trend up. This is where emotion enters the equation. You know, because I say that about Miami, and a lot of people will say, nah, they suck, nah, this and that. Hear what I said. I said everything's trended up. They won 5 games Mario's first year there. They won 7 last year. That's the definition of trending up. The roster's getting better. It doesn't mean they win the national title this year. That's you putting words in my mouth I didn't say. What I'm saying is just factually correct about them. So then you insert the opinion. And that's the whole, speculative, if Cam Ward is a phenomenal quarterback this year, well, then what? Then what is, that's another Tier 1 team. At the very least, even if they don't win the ACC, that's a team that figures into the equation of who's going to win the ACC. Again, I feel like everything I just said is fact, and yet it will be painted as homerism. NC State is just lurking. To me, they're just lurking. Dave Doran, again, has a team that could push for 8, 9 wins. They can't hit that 10-win range yet. They haven't. Double-digit wins has eluded them. I ask you this, just a little side note here, and I don't know what it is about NC State. I've talked with their folks about this before. I feel like NC State should be a much bigger deal than they are nationally. So think about this. It's a Power 4 team in a major market. They're in Raleigh. They play good football. They haven't been bad at all. They've been good. It's a pretty good fan base. I just don't get how NC State feels as anonymous as they do on the national scene. Like, NC State fans know their program. ACC fans know NC State. But take someone in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Take someone who lives in Manhattan Beach in California. They're college football fans, but they're not native to the ACC footprint. What do they know, or what do they think of when you say NC State? What do they think of? Chuck Amato? Like, what do they think of? It's kind of an anonymous program. It has little to do with what we were talking about here, because anonymous programs can win a conference title just like that. And maybe they pride themselves in that. Maybe they do. But I've always wondered that. Anytime someone asks which is the sleeping giant program out there, and people would go Texas A&M, then I agreed with that. I used to say Central Florida. That's the other one. NC State is like a sleeping giant program, but they're not bad. So it's not the on-the-field product I'm necessarily talking about. It's the on-the-field product and then the country realizing that they have that product on the field. Never made much sense to me.